All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Wednesday. This is the Talk with Stephen Day. So, welcome to Talk with Stephen. This is a weekly talk show that is hosted by me, Stephen Raj, where I will be interviewing individuals, normal, ordinary individuals who have achieved extraordinary things in their life. Their story is so inspiring and is so nice. Along the way, it has actually inspired many people's life, and I personally got texts from some people that I actually got learned something from your talk show. I have learned a lot of things from the speaker sharing and all this kind of good things. So today at this week's talk with Stephen as well, we are going to interview someone who I know personally and is a really incredible man. So before I start to talk about the topic and also the guest speaker, I would like to say thank you to our co-organizers today. Our talk is actually organized and co-organized and sponsored by ETI Ideas. ETI Ideas is a social business incubator where we focus on developing entrepreneurs, and also PMDK. PMDK is an NGO that focuses on guiding a platform, providing a platform and the guidance to the younger generation people out there. Make sure that they have get the resources, the guidance, and all the things that they need to follow their heart and do what they love to do and turn it into their career while they were still studying in school. So that is what PMDK does. And so thank you guys for that. And I would like to ask all our audience who are watching it right now, please do share this YouTube link, this Facebook in your stream. Ask your friends to come and watch, no problem. This is going to be a very heartwarming session because we're going to talk about our country, Malaysia. Everyone loves Malaysia. There is everybody who knows about Malaysia, everyone who lives in Malaysia, we absolutely loves Malaysia. Even though there's so many things happening, we never look down on Malaysia. We've put the Malaysia ahead of ourselves. That's how much love that we actually have towards Malaysia. And during this Merdeka Day, like yesterday is the Merdeka, and it was a very beautiful day. I personally miss going to schools during this Merdeka time because usually we will have a lot of events is happening. You will sing along with the Merdeka songs and all these things. I personally miss that. But yesterday I had a virtual fun session with my gang, and we actually just put all the playlist of Merdeka song and just sing it out loud with all our heart and everything. It just feels so good. So today at Talk with Stephen, I thought I'd do something special about this Merdeka. So that's why we are inviting Mr. Dano Falk from Germany. He's actually originated from Germany, and he's been to many countries, but he has made Malaysia as his permanent home. And he literally fell in love with Malaysia and is there forever ever. So it is my honor to have Dano here as well. He's a very he's a very prominent entrepreneur. He's a very prominent entrepreneur. He founded a company called Electri, and he developed the company into the next level. And then when the company is doing really well, he sold out the company to somebody with a very huge profit, and then had some time and money freedom, and then he start from ground zero again. He's now building another company called Def Devices, and he will share a little bit about that later as well. And he's now building that company from baby to now. So he's very fascinating man. So let's invite him and hear his wonderful stories of how he fell in love with Malaysia. So welcoming Dano. Hello, Dano.
Yes, Mr. Stephen, thank you so much for this warm welcome. I feel like, my ego is very much boosted right now from your warm introduction. Thank you.
Thank you, Dano. How are you, Dano? How are you doing today?
I'm good. I had a half working day. It's nice weather, calm, not too much construction going on, so I'm happy.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here under very such a short notice. So I was actually thinking, what should I do for this Merdeka Day? I was thinking what to do. Then I was like, maybe I should interview Dano about Malaysia. So thank you very much for being here.
I think it's a very sweet idea to talk about how people fall in love with Malaysia. I mean, what would be a better topic for Merdeka Day special? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So to start our session, why don't you share with us a little bit about your background? Because you were born in Germany and then you are now staying in Malaysia. What are the countries that you've been like? Just a brief introduction about what you did, then how you stumbled upon Malaysia.
Quick update, I was not born in Germany. I was born in Ukraine.
Sorry, that's the wrong intro.
Yeah, I think I might have sent you the wrong bio sheet. No, I was born. I spent the first 10 years of my life in those days so-called Soviet Union. So I was born in Ukraine. We moved to Moldavia, to Kyrgyzstan. So I was living like in the Middle East for the most part of my childhood. Then we moved to Belarus, which is White Russia. And age 10, we moved to Germany, which was quite an adventure, because moving from this communist country and this environment to Germany, to this Western world, which there was a lot of contrast. We heard a lot of funny things about how things were ugly and incredibly bad in the West, and how people would not have water to drink. And how capitalism was ruining everyone. So there was a lot of propaganda going on in the East those days about how bad the West was, and then we came to see first, with our own eyes, and it was a very interesting experience. So then I had to learn German. I'm a German national, but we all my first language was Russian. So then I had to kind of adjust myself to this new culture in Germany, pick up like how to speak German, mostly by watching TV. Went to school and had all kind of funny experiences, like how school system in Russia. I spent 4 years in school in Russia, and things how Russians run their schools are very, very different from Germans running their schools. So I was the complete alien who would, I would stand up when the teacher would call me to answer, because that's what we learned. We learned to stand up and put our hands on our thighs and then answer and then sit down. And everybody was looking at me like, what's wrong with this guy? So there was a lot of culture shock. But yeah, I adjusted. So when I was 17, we moved from Cologne to South Germany, which was another, within Germany is also like a different culture of the Bavarians. So so there was a lot of culture, not shocks all the time, but a lot of new adaptation to new cultures in my life. And and then the last one I would say was in my early 40s, when I decided to stay in Malaysia, and because I fell in love with it. And now you can ask me why.
Yeah, that is my next question. Why?
Yeah, sorry for taking it away from you, but so when I first came here, it wasn't.
I actually learned a lot of things just now, from the things that you said and everything. I don't know that you live in so many countries, so I've been in Malaysia forever. So
okay, you still have time. You're still young.
Yeah.
You can travel. 2009, I came here the first time, and I was impressed in many ways. I was impressed by the variety, first of all. I was impressed by the tropical weather. I was impressed by the people. We traveled to Bali, we spent time by the sea. And when I came back, and I was sitting in Munich, and I think it was winter time, I thought to myself, what am I doing here? Those days I always been an entrepreneur, so I never had like a regular job where I had to go and work. So those days I was a full-time trader actually. So I could pick my location. So it didn't take very long for me to come back and to keep on visiting. And my visits in Malaysia kept on being longer and longer. And then the time I spent in Munich became shorter and shorter. And after 2 years of A/B testing, so the results were very clear. I'm going to Malaysia. I'm going to just let go of everything in Munich. And I passed my apartment to my cousin, who's still living there. And I started from 2011. I was here full time.
That is actually a very big decision to make for many people. Even for me, if I look back, if I really think, would I just drop everything that I'm doing now here and just move to a completely different country that I don't know about and start a new life there? I don't know whether I can do it or not. So when you started to take this first action, tell to somebody that you're actually going to move out to a different country and everything. Anyone close to your family or anyone that rejected these ideas, like, why are you going here? These kind of things.
My friends were okay with it. They understood. But of course, my mom didn't like the idea very much of me leaving her and moving in a different continent, 9,000 kilometers away. That she was not fond of that idea. Until today, she is not a big fan of my decision to live so far away. But yeah, we deal with it. We talk often on the phone. But otherwise, I think most people, as soon as I explained what happened, and they all understood, and many of them came to visit, I mean, I was a bit of a Malaysia ambassador for quite a few people as well, who kind of learned about Malaysia for the first time, and then
Nice.
they came here to spend time, and then they also have this thing on the back of their head, like maybe I should live there, you know, this kind of thing.
Nice. I have this one question. How did you actually got to know there is this country called Malaysia exists? Because when we are living in our own bubble and everything, we don't really know about the world outside, except you start Googling, you start reading about it in a book and everything. Personally, for me, how I learned there is so many countries in the world, like Russia, like Germany, England, and all these things, when I start to watch football. That's when I actually got to know that there is a country called Germany, and every World Cup they will beat England because I support England. Then I will feel very sad for it and everything. That's how I actually got to know about Germany. How did you first got to know there is this country called Malaysia exists?
Well, it was not football. No, it was. To be honest, Germans are not. I mean, Malaysia is not on the radar of Germans neither. Maybe just like the other way around, because there's not the. I mean, Germans, they know Thailand because that's a holiday destination, a very popular one. And then they've heard of Singapore because it's this financial hub. But the space in between called Malaysia, it doesn't really show up because they don't. There's no topic, there's no hot topic that's like relevant to Europeans. I mean, they're all not really aware about like palm oil or Petronas and all these things. It's not like it doesn't come up in the news. So yeah, it's not on many people's radar. But yeah, I was invited here. As I said, I just was invited to come and visit. And that's how. And since I like the idea and I like this exotic sound of it, like Malaysia, wow, So you start looking it up and checking the map and all that. So I just went. I just took a leap of faith, and it was just a holiday in the first place. I mean, I didn't come to live here. I just came to visit because I love visiting. I traveled 25 countries in my life, and I always love to discover new places and new countries. So that was a no-brainer for me to come and visit. And then I discovered all these nice things about Malaysia, which really made it easy for me to actually stay here.
Nice. So now you actually come here and then you're staying here. They make a decision and staying here and everything. And Malaysians are extremely friendly. They will just call you all kind of names, and then they will make you welcome in Malaysia and everything. So how did you make friends in Malaysia? How did you got to know about people and everything there?
Things were quite natural from the get-go. So one of the I invented a metric back in the days, which I called the random smiles per day. So how many random smiles per day did I as a person receive when I come to this city or this country as compared to other countries? And the random smiles per day I received in Kuala Lumpur was really amazingly high. So, I walk down the streets and people smile at me. And this didn't happen to me back in Munich. But I've learned that it's also something about me. I mean, my girlfriend Sue, she came to Germany one day and she said, "What do you mean? People smile at me all the time." So I had to learn that, wow, so maybe this is not just a universal law. Maybe it's, when you're cute, it's different. But for me, it was definitely like that. The people were so much more friendly here, and it was not very difficult to make friends. I mean, to really create deep connections and friendships, it takes a while, like everywhere, I guess. But people are friendly here, and people are welcoming, and there's so much variety. I mean, one of the things I love about Malaysia, that if you sit down at the table with 5 people, there will be at least 3 different cultures present. There will be an Indian guy, Chinese fella, Malay, some expats, some this and that. So people, it's everything is there's so much variety here. That's one of the things I really like. A variety in cultures, in languages, in food. It's just very colorful. That's and this is something I really fell in love with in the first place. I mean, I don't want to talk bad about Germany because.
No, it's okay. It's about you.
Yeah, I mean, Germany is fine. There are great people in Germany and all that, but this variety aspect was something that stood out for me. The friendliness stood out for me, And another very big one for me was, of course, the weather. So when you can ride your bike 365 days a year, I mean, if you're a biker like me, that's like a big wow, you know. You know, in Munich, when I wanted to ride my bike, like 3 months of the year, it was okay. But for the rest of the year, you had to dress up like an astronaut. And, you know, there is snow and rain and stuff, and it's not enjoyable at all. Here, you can just hop on a bike like almost every day and then just ride. I mean, unless there is MCO. But
Yeah.
that's a completely different story. Yeah.
Yeah.
And since we're talking about bikes, one more thing that I also noticed here, I was riding my bike for 1 year without the number plate.
What?
And that's when I also, for the third time, I think, fell in love with Malaysia, because such a thing is not possible in Munich or Germany. You know, so you ride without a number plate in Munich, after 10 minutes, you end up in jail. Here, I was doing it for 1 year, and I didn't really have a problem. And I mean, I don't mean to break laws and be a villain and all that, but I love this kind of freedom because I didn't harm anyone. I just happened to not have like a visible number plate. And then after I decided, okay, let's not push my luck any further, let's get one. Then I went and then I realized how you get a number plate in Malaysia. So you go and you actually pick the font you want it to be with, you know. You can kind of design your own number plate. You can pick the background and all that. And to me, that was another like, what? You know, German number plates, they are pre-designed to the square millimeter, you know. Everything, and you have to go to an authorized person who has a license to create these plates, and they will give you a sticker, and everything will be standardized and exactly up to, I don't know what kind of manual they have. It's a very long one. And here you go to some, you know, backyard shop, you know, there's a guy and he says, okay, so which one you want? You want like this, you want like that? And then they go to stick the letters on this thing, and then they screw it to your bike. So this amount of, these are small things, but I think just this environment of freedom, of not being regulated, like your life is not being controlled, every square inch of it. And for me, that's a really big deal.
Nice, really nice. Actually, there is something in the number plate where you need to have this font, this size. But yeah, like you said,
but it's negotiable, right? It's like, okay, it can be like this. It can be also a bit different. So
yeah,
you still get to choose. Yeah.
No. So as a Malaysian, we will take a huge pride in our food. Like we have so much of food that you can pick from. Sometimes you will get in a dilemma of what food to eat. And so how did you find the foods in Malaysia then? Just want to know, what is your favorite food that you find in Malaysia?
Oh, there's so many favorite foods, but I mean, I'm a big fan of curry laksa. I'm a big fan of Indian food. I like all these curries and I like, and all this variety. I mean, I love Japanese food. So there's so many things to pick from here. So it's, again, compared to Munich, where I come from, they do have international, they have a lot of like Italian, Greek, Turkish restaurants. But I think the variety here is amazing. And I mean, I'm not a foodie by this. I mean, I'm not like all about food like some other people, but I do appreciate the variety here, and especially like the cost of living. I mean, you can have a decent meal for 8 ringgit. That's completely impossible in Munich. I mean, I don't know, unless you buy a bun maybe, but yeah. So also what you get for your money is incredible. The amount of value and amount of choice you have.
It's affordable and it's nice.
Yeah. And one thing about affordable, I mean, to me, the big one, a very big thing also was the whole apartment and living and rental situation, you know. So that is one, I don't know, when you've never been to Germany, you cannot know, but to rent an apartment in Munich is like applying for a CEO position at Daimler-Benz. So you have to find one first, which is not easy at all. And then you have to qualify and line up with 50 people. And the price for this unit will be at least 4 times as high as here in Malaysia. So, you know, I was paying like 2,500 ringgit for a 45 square meter studio apartment. in Munich. And when I came here, now I'm paying the same amount for a 1,400 square feet. So that was 450 square feet in Munich and 1,450 square feet in Malaysia, with a pool next to it, with a balcony and with a sunset view. So that is again something that is really difficult to ignore when you travel between these two countries and you compare like what is the cost of living, what is the rental situation, and how easy it is to rent an apartment in KL. I mean, maybe many people don't realize what a huge luxury it is to be able to just snip your finger and have a new unit like the next day, because there's so much space, there's so many units available, and they're so affordable compared to anything in Europe. So that's another huge advantage.
Agreed. My question for you is this one: what is your most memorable moment staying in Malaysia?
My most memorable moment staying in Malaysia. Wow. Well, that's a tough one. What was the one moment? I would say, maybe the first date with my girlfriend Sue. That was one very memorable moment. And then sunsets, and then bike rides. So these are the memorable moments I can recall right now. Like being by the beach, spending time with great people. So there's no one moment that stands out completely, but these are the things which really stand out for me. Yeah.
Nice. I just want to know this one thing before we end the segment in a while. What is one thing that in your bucket list that you want to do in Malaysia but you haven't done it yet?
I think I would like to climb this mountain, Kinabalu or so, Kinabalu. I would like to discover much more beaches and places in Malaysia. I would like to travel. I mean, I've seen quite a few things, but I want to do many more bike rides, and I want to spend more time in beautiful places by the sea.
Nice, nice. So my last question that I have for you is, how are you giving back to society and the things in Malaysia actually? How are you contributing back? Because it is equally important to actually give back to the community, give back to society, wherever that we are staying. So how are you doing that in Malaysia, Dano?
How do I give back? Well, I support people in my environment who I see who can use my help, who can use my support. And one example would be as we collaborate at Ascendance, and Ascendance are one of the very few groups which are allowed to go into schools and to teach children to become entrepreneurs and to become like self-sustained and independent. So I did participate in this project, and I remember going to a school here in PJ. It was several times. I was coming along with Ascendance, and I did have a speech in front of these Malaysian kids, which was a very interesting situation, because I didn't know half the time if they understood what I was saying. But and I think some of them didn't, because I was talking about entrepreneurship and these guys were like 10, 11, 12 years old. But still, I mean, there was a connection, and some of them were like really interested, and they came to me after the session and they started asking questions, how is this, how is that, how do you become, how do you build your own business and all these things. And some of them actually joined Ascendance, I think, as well. Yep. So that was one thing which stood out for me, and it was a very very impressive also to have this connection with the kids here, which I never had before. We also, I mean, in my domain is digital marketing and online strategy. So as soon as I see things, as soon as people in my environment need my help, then I do hop on a call with them. I do help them out to better understand what they need to fix on their websites. I think we did a press release for your event as well. So I do help as much as I can with people in my environment to improve their marketing, to improve their online sales, and to do things that I understand.
Yeah, I think like I literally like what you said. What is the best way to give back to the community or to Malaysia than giving back to whatever that you have, the experience and you have to the younger generation in the
Yeah,
country, because they are the ones that actually going to lead the country after this. So it is,
yeah, exactly.
yeah, and I think a man like you have so much of experience to share with the students, like all your experience in going to different countries, seeing different culture, and being in your own entrepreneur journey, and now you have been doing something really good for the society and everything. Your business is going good and all kind of things. All this experience are really important for the younger generation to know. So I'm really glad that you took the first step to actually go out there and talk to students. I remember that I was there when Dano was actually going and giving a talk to a school, and personally for me that's one of the best things that I saw, because as a student who studied in school last time, we don't really listen to any talks. But when I look at the students who are actually listening to Dano's talk, they are listening, they are understanding. Then after that, they actually go out there and talk to Dano, like, what is this? What is that? Like what Dano is saying. And some of them from there are still with Ascendants, growing in their career and their passion. Thank you so much, Dano, for actually doing that. Talking about Ascendants actually doing a world largest student-led conference in the world. It's actually a proud moment for all of us in Malaysia, because nobody have done a conference that this big for a student, by a student company for this big. They are doing a conference for 50,000 students, and Dano plays a very huge role in this conference as well, where he become one of the corporate partner. And Dano is the one that helped us to reach out to all the media, the press release and everything. So thank you so much for that, Dano. So if you like to be a part of this amazing conference, you can, no problem at all. Since Dano is one of the corporate partner, and there are many corporate partners there that is come together to make this conference together possible. This conference is absolutely free because of it's funded by the corporate partners. You can check out about the full details about the conference, what is happening in the program booklet below. We are actually bringing 20 plus young change makers from different countries, to be exact 8 different countries, to share their experience of how they are building the world and giving back to society. So that is what you're going to hear it from them. And once you check out the program booklet, you're interested to join, you can sign up at the link below as well, where I'm going to put it now in the chat box as well. So Dano, one last question, Dano, before we end our final session. What is your message, or what is the one thing that you want to say to all the Malaysians here?
The one thing I want to say to all the Malaysians, holy cow, you should have warned me, dude. You asked me questions like that. The one thing I would really want to see in Malaysia is this unity and this mutual respect for diversity, and to just cooperation and working together and doing everything other than racism, everything other than like separating each other for looking different, for having different skin color, for believing different things. I think one of the most closest to my heart for me, for people here to unite, to respect each other and to appreciate each other, even though they're different. And that I think applies to many other countries as well. But yeah, this is really something that I would love to see happening more than it is already.
That is the best thing about Malaysia. We all are very unity. We all are living together, and we all have all kind of friends. We love all the people here. So thank you very much for being here, Dano. So thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you for having me, Stephen.
So I'm going to play a video in a way to end this beautiful talk show, and also to give a very good message about this Merdeka. We had this beautiful video. So after this video, we will officially end the segment. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much, Dano, for being here with me. So
Thanks
I shall play the video. Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Tanggal 31 bulan 8 57.
Happy Independence Day, everyone!
I'm wishing all the Malaysians out there Happy Independence Day!
Happy Independence Day to all the Malaysians out there.
Happy Independence Day to everyone.
I know there is a tremendous amount of unique countries in the world, but Malaysia is a very special among unique countries in the world. Malaysia is special because of the diversity of races, religions and cultures. One thing that I love about Malaysia youngsters is, even though there are many differences between us, as youngsters we all stand together as one to build a better future.
One thing I really like about our Malaysians is that we always respect every other religion, not only ours. That's why I'm really proud to be Malaysian.
The one thing that I love in all Malaysian youngsters is, despite the difference in race, everyone still strives to live a happy and harmonious life.
My small message to all the Malaysian youngsters out there is, be proud that you're a Malaysian. Communicate and interact with different cultures so that we know more about each other.
And I would like to take this opportunity to invite all of the youngsters around Malaysia to join us on the New Ashlina virtual conference this September. So we all will help each other to build a better Malaysia.
And you also will get a chance to build a future with us. Thank you, and hashtag 1 million teens.
Do join the New Age Learner virtual conference that's going to happen on September. See you there. Bye-bye.
See you there.
Bye.
Mari kita seluruh warga negara ramai-ramai menyambut Hari Merdeka.
So that's a nice video from Ascendance people. So just want to show the video to end our segment officially. Thank you for all our audience who are watching. Thank you, Dano, for being here with us today and sharing your wonderful experience.
My pleasure.
See you guys next week, Wednesday, 1 p.m. Until then, see you. Bye.